Hello, respected viewers, subscribers. I welcome you on behalf of NSRIC and its subsidiary, the audiences who are now with us and who are following us, and the broadcast that we are now in on behalf of NSRIC, the NSRIC Immigration and Visa Consulting. So I welcome you everyone to this forum, today's webinar series. Today we will be discussing about the express entry visa that is applicable to the Canadian immigration process. I will be delivering my webinar series followed by the different type of express entry. What does it mean really? And what are the steps that we need to follow? And then finally, I will show the requirement that are needed for the eligibility, or if someone is interested to migrate to Canada under express entry visa. And finally, I will show you what are the required specific document that are available in our website. So first of all, let me try to explain what does it mean express entry visa. It is an online system that really we use to manage immigration application for the skilled workers. So no matter where you are located, you can be outside Canada, you can be inside Canada. If you have some specific skill set, if you believe that your academic qualifications and your skill are very much sound, then you are eligible to be applying and to be part of the express entry visa. So according to the Canadian immigration policy, the immigration law has divided this express entry work visa into three categories. So one is called Canadian Experience Class. Another one is called Federal Skilled Worker Program, as you know. And the third one is Federal Skilled Trade Program. So in general, the steps before going to each individual category, I will try to highlight here what are the steps that really you need to follow to be successful when you apply for express entry visa. Number one step is you need to figure out before even thinking anything whether you are eligible, whether you meet the minimum requirement to apply for an express entry visa. So this is the first step for you. And then the second step is check your score. You know that Canada is a bilingual country, meaning the official language of Canada is English or French. So your proficiency is English or French must be proved. So simply, majority of us prefer English proficiency. So you need to figure out what is your English proficiency score, the minimum score, and do you have the IELTS score or TOEFL score ready or don't go? What proves that you know English, you can speak English, you can write English, and you can listen English. So your language proficiency certificate. This is mandatory. So this is the step 2. Then you need to think, which we call step 3, based on your eligibility criteria, based on your English proficiency or French proficiency certificate and ability. Now you gather your all document. So I will finally show you where you will get all these documents. In our website, we have all the documents listed that are needed for the application of this express entry visa. So this is the step 3. And then step 4 is submit your profile in canada.ca. website. This is a government website. If you are independently trying to apply for a visa, right? And then if you are trying to engage an agent, such as NIVC or NSRIC Immigration and Visa Consulting, certainly you can register you as a client in our system and you submit your all document necessary information in our submission portal. And then if you are qualified, your file will be reviewed by the immigration officer. If they feel that you are qualified enough, then they will invite you, okay, to apply the candidacy with the score, because your document, your application will be ranked by the immigration officer, meaning followed by the policy and regulation of the Immigration and Citizenship Department of Canada. So this express entry is solely depending on the ranking of your application. Every 2 weeks, every month, Canadian government declare to pull the application who applied and from the ranking. So this system works like this. Let's say, for example, 100 people applied for the immigration under express entry visa. So among the 100 application, based on your qualification, based on your skill set, by the way, for the skill set, let me tell you one clear thing. There is a score for skilled people and how they rank it based on the skill development. According to the Canadian immigration policy, it calls National Occupational Classification, which is called NOC, N-O-C, NOC. So you have to put the NOC number in your application, and every express entry visa has to provide the NOC number. What is NOC number? These are truly explained very well in our website in NSRIC. Interested people can go and see the NOC category. So every category has its own number. So that number you should pull it and bring it, put it in your application. For example, if you are an IT expert, you are a skilled IT expert person. So for IT, there is a NOC number. And randomly I am telling, because I need to see what is the exact number for IT expert. Those are given in our website also in nsric.ca. You can look at it there also. Let's say 421220. So if you are an IT expert, this 41220, that number you need to insert in your application. And that is how the 100 application will be ranked. Let's say one of the application has the score of 600. So the application will be in the top. And then let's say 590, 500, 400, 450, and then up to the last. So this 100 application will be ranked according to the marks obtained by the score that are given by the system, or the immigration officer will evaluate your file and rank you. So this 100 application is ready now for, in layman term, we can say lottery. But what in reality it does and it occurs is, Canadian government, for example, declared this week they will pull only 10 applicant. So they will take top 10 and they will select this top 10 based on the number that you have been assigned, and then this 10 applicant will be selected for the next step, meaning they will now invite you for all the documentation, for interview, and for process further of your application. Normally, this is how this express entry works. Now, let me explain one by one what is called Canadian Experience Class, Federal Skilled Worker Program, and Federal Skilled Trade Program. So, Canadian Experience Class meaning the people who has work experience within the Canadian territory. That means if you are, let's say, a student inside Canada, so you have 20 hours a week flexibility, opportunity to work. So this is how you have been working in Canada for last 3 years. So last 3 years work experience will be counted. So this is how you become eligible as a Canadian Experience Class visa. Okay. So last 3 years you have been working in Canada, and that is counted. Under this, it calls Canadian Experience Class work visa under Express NT. Then the second one is Federal Skilled Worker Program. Under this program, your experience can be in any country except Canada. So outside Canada, you have work experience. So you will be applying under Federal Skilled Worker Program. This is the second category that you have. The third one is called Federal Skilled Trade Program, meaning these are the people who are qualified in skilled trade, meaning business, right? You are an entrepreneur, you are trading experience you have. So if you qualify, if you believe that you have that luxury, then you apply under Express Entry Visa, which is the category of Federal Skilled Trade Program. So these are the three categories. Now, if I little bit expand on Canadian Experience Class Visa, what are the minimum requirement that you need to have? Number one, you need to have Canadian skilled work experience. Your work experience is within the territory of Canada. And then definitely, as a first requirement, the language ability. So you need to prove that you are sound in one of the official language, English or French. These are the minimum requirement. And then you have at least 1 year of experience in Canada. It can be part-time, it can be full-time. In the last 3 years. Then you have to prove that this experience you gained when you were under temporary resident status, meaning you were a student or you have been here as a temporary resident. Then you have to prove that, as I mentioned, your experience, your skill are meeting one of the National Occupational Classification, meaning NOC, including all duties and responsibilities that are specified for that NOC. So you can now rank yourself in tier 1, 2, 3, 4 according to the classification. And as I mentioned in the beginning, that this about the NOC, if you are interested, you can visit our main website nsric.ca. In the home page, it is clearly mentioned. And majority of our courses that are available for you to enhance your skill are related to one of the NOC category. So you really don't need to worry about it. Only you need to complete the course that is more appropriate for your skill, and then you apply. So this is the general minimum requirement that you need to have while you plan to apply under express entry visa for this subcategory. Now there are some restrictions. So let me explain this restriction for you. So you will never be eligible for this category if you claim refugee in Canada. Please, my honorable audiences, subscribers, our followers, please listen carefully, because this is one of the dangerous zone that people misunderstand, misinterpret. If you come to Canada as a visitor, there is a misconception that if you claim refugee, everything is forgiven. Actually, this is the beginning of your destruction of your career. This is the beginning of the destruction of your life. Unfortunately, there are so many agents who do not give the real picture and who do not tell the truth. So please be aware of it. Never ever, if you come to Canada, I would say claim refugee until unless you have a 100% valid document. Otherwise, you would be falling in a very dangerous zone. You are in danger. Your career is in danger. Your family is in danger. In general, your country would be blacklisted simply for no reason. You are applying the refugee. So, for express entry visa in Canada, if your status is refugee, then you are not eligible. Clear. Number two is, if you are working in Canada without valid document, without authorization. And we have again misconception that you came here as a visitor, so you cannot manage any work. Your intention is to stay in Canada, which is fine. And there are many ways to regularize your status from visitor visa to other visa. How we will do this? How you can think of? You can transfer your visa into study permit. You can transfer your visa into LMIA work permit. You can transfer your visa into express entry. So you don't need to be falling into the trap. So no way, when you come to Canada as a visitor without any valid authorization, you should work. And you cannot show this work experience in your application. So if you do so, automatically your application will be rejected. This is the second dangerous zone for you as an applicant. Number three is the experience, meaning the work experience for the last 3 years, which you gain and you did not have any temporary resident status in Canada. That means you were just like a flying bird. So if this is the case, the work experience that you gain in Canada, if you cannot prove that you had a valid temporary resident status, then your work will not be counted. That means you are not eligible to apply under this category. I think this is fair enough to understand the pros and cons and the requirement and the obstacle that you will encounter when you apply under Canadian experience class. Now move to the second one, federally skilled worker category. Again, the minimum requirement is work experience outside Canada and then language proficiency. Many of our client request us that we do not have English proficiency certificate, we do not have desired score, so can you help us? I am sorry to tell our audiences, subscribers, and viewers who are now following and watching our live video webinar series 5 from different location. I'm very sorry to tell you, this is the government policy. This is the government requirement. No agent, no expert, no IRCC expert, legal expert, barrister can help you. Neither me, neither our organization, no organization on earth, because this is the barely minimum requirement from the government of Canada who are interested to come to Canada. So language proficiency is must, no matter how much qualification you have. And then the third one is the education, because you are going to compete with number of applicants who are applying from different countries under this category, right? Federal skilled worker category. So your education, your language proficiency, your work experience, these three are the most important criteria to score high in favor of your application. And there is a tip I can tell you. For example, you have master's degree. If your wife also has master's degree, then your score would be very high. If your age, for example, is within 24 to 30, then your score would be very high. So after 32 years, the age score start to reduce. It will be less. And after 45, your age score would be 0. So my brothers and sisters who are now with this webinar series today, I would highly encourage you, if you are interested to migrate to Canada under this category, you must consider your age also. After 45 years, if you think you will be migrating under this category, there is a risk for you. I can tell you. Many agents will give you nice wording. They will give you 100% guarantee, but all these are fake. So please be aware of all these. And then your work experience must be within a year, 1560 hours in total. Full-time job, it is called 30 hours per week. So this is how they calculate. And in details, you can see and get it in any of the immigration related website. And these information are very much available in our website also. So in a minute, I am going to share our website so that you can see and navigate, even if you do not apply through us, which is fine. We wanted to establish a norm, a real guideline, a true guideline through our channel. And that is for you as a service to the community from our organization. So the last one is called Federal Skilled Trade Program under Express Entry Visa. This is applicable for the skilled worker who wanted to be a permanent resident based on their qualified in skilled trade. So what is trade? You know about your trade, in which area, in which category you are expert. So you bring your expertise here and apply under this category. Now, the minimum requirement for this type of application is number one, your skill trade experience. This is the number one. Number two, you need to have a job offer from an employer, true employer in Canada, We have many complaint. I am sorry to tell you the truth. We have many client. We have many people who continuously correspond with us and request us to validate the job offer. Unfortunately, these days, there are many scammer. Please be aware of it. What they do, they make an offer and send it to you. So we randomly receive this type of offer from our well-wisher, from our subscriber, from our followers to validate it. Brothers and sisters, think about it. If there is a company who claim that they are Canadian company, just Google the name of the company. You should get it. For example, we are Canadian company. If you Google our name, you will see the name in the Ministry of Commerce. Our name is there. Our business number is there. So if you find this information in the Ministry of Commerce, then this company is eligible. Now, then you need to dig more by calling them, by digging more. And that is how you can confirm the job offer. On top of it, there is a job bank, government website, Job Bank Canada. If you correspond through this, the company who are advertising, giving the ads for the people to hire, then you are in the right track. So there are many ways to investigate whether the employer is true or false, whether the job offer letter is valid or false, or it is a scam. So you should be careful about it. This is the second requirement. And then the third requirement is again the language proficiency. Okay. So these are almost similar in three of these subcategory under express entry visa. So this is what I have as a snapshot to give you some explanation about the express entry visa. Now let me share my screen so that you can follow our website. You can get help from our effort, which has been designed for you, which is open for all. So this is our official website. Here our business registration number is given, so you can validate it if you are interested. Now you see, if you go to the migration category, you see this is an express entry visa. So the three subcategory, as I mentioned, is already here. So if you go and click any one of these category, for example, federal skilled work visa, right? Federal skilled trade visa, Canadian experience class visa. So if you wanted to just see what are the requirement, you just click here. You see, it is clearly mentioned what is all about it and the required document. So without even visiting any other website, in one place you are getting all information that are needed for you to apply. You just follow it, and then you can apply independently. If you are confident enough, you can choose any agent on behalf of you to apply. Like us, you can also select us to work on behalf of you, definitely. Then you are good to go. So how you apply through us? You as a client, you should register yourself. And we have video clip. You see, we have video clip here, how to register. And once you register, you have some other video clip that will guide you how to apply through us. So this is the most simplest way to apply. And the beauty to apply with us is you don't need to talk anybody. If you navigate in your system by login, your credential, using your credential, time to time you will be notified what is the status of the application, and you follow step by step. After, let's say, up to 1 to 2 years it needs for experience class visa, because it depends on the score of your application. After ranking, if you are quite fortunate, in even 2 months you can be called, you will be called by the ministry that you are eligible, now proceed on, meaning your biometric, your medical exams, and then finally they will ask you to submit your passport. That's it. So this is what I have for you. For through this webinar, I wanted to make sure that you gather, you earn some experience and information while you are with this. With this, I wanted to thank you again to be with us. I would highly appreciate you to help us to serve you better by subscribing our channel, our website, being an honorable customer, being an honorable follower and audience. Wherever you are does not matter. So I would kindly request you to subscribe us, to follow us, and to give us your feedback so that we can improve our activity, our service to the mankind like you in a proper and appropriate manner. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.